Hey everybody, this is Joe. Thank you for watching my Giga-Texas construction update video.
Well, it's another Friday at Giga-Texas with a lot of activity going on as usual. There are three main things I want to go over in the intro, and then there'll be a lot more in the actual video. The first thing that I want to go over is on the far south end, the directional drilling and the pull of that large 36-inch or 1 meter wide purple treated water pipe from the south of the river is being pulled through the line bore and under the river now. And you can see that action at the south end in the video, and also I'll show you the north end as well. So big development there. On the roof, I want to show you a new expanded area of solar panel installation. This time it's on the south side of the base of the T for Tesla. And it's another large section. So it looks like maybe they're starting to work their way towards the south now. And then the third main thing I want to talk about is on the north end, where all of the irrigation system has been installed. They're continuing to do that, but they've now wrapped over to the east side near the power lines. And in addition to that, they're planting a whole lot more trees and more shrubbery and plants in that area to finish off that northeast corner of the landscaping area and by that parking lot. So it's another great development. So again, a lot more to see in the video, a lot more I'll be covering with the talk and fly, so make sure you watch the whole video. I hope you have a great weekend. Again, thank you very much for watching my videos, and take care. See ya.
A special thank you to all of my outstanding Patreons for your continued encouragement and support. Patreon members get access to hundreds of high-resolution photos, previews of the future material, and direct dialogue with me. If you would like to support my channel, please consider becoming a patron using this link, which is also in the video description. Please also consider hitting the like and subscribe buttons, as this helps as well. Thank you. My drones are ready and raring to go. Let's go flying over Giga-Texas. Well, I'm starting off today on the south end near the electrical power station across the Colorado River to show you this. The purple 36-inch or 1 meter diameter treated water pipe is being pulled through the bore that was drilled from the north side near Giga-Texas under the river to here, and it's being pulled from this side back to the north. And you can see that with the way the pipe is entering the ground in the slurry. And as we fly through the clouds from the power station, I'll fly back over across the Colorado River and show you where they are actually pulling that pipe. And it's actually quite an amazing process that they have. But this device here, the looks like a drill on a rail, is really the device that's pulling the pipe. And at the end of that long tube that you see kind of a round concrete area around that tube. Anyway, this is where they connect to the pipe on the south end of the Colorado River, and we'll be pulling it all the way through. And the crews tell me this is a multi-week process, so we'll see how that goes. But they've been preparing for this pull for a while, and it looks like it has now begun. So now that we are back on the north side of the Colorado River, let's fly a little bit over to the east and come back around and take a look at the secondary entrance area. Right now we are flying over that material storage area that continues to grow next to the factory, and this area where they continue to bring dirt and fill and raise the grade even more. Still not sure what is going to be put at this particular place, but it is getting quite a bit of fill dirt, and it's interesting to watch. But as we fly over this parking area, which is still waiting for the asphalt paving to occur, we're going to go to the secondary entrance. One thing I forgot to mention in my previous videos, you notice all of the lights poles along the median of the road. These are new, and they were installed about 3 days ago. And so that's pretty cool to see. And then as you can also see with the secondary entrance, they have most of the large glass planes installed. They have one more angled section to do on the top row, and then they'll install the rest of the rectangular windows, and then the doors on the bottom floor. All the concrete has been poured as well. What it looks like is most of the crates are gone, so we probably need to see another shipment coming soon with more of the glass to finish that particular area out. But here we'll fly down to the south and show you the loading docks and how busy they all are. This is along the body in white, where they take the stamped pieces and the castings and they make the basic body shell. Here is that area where they're preparing for a new loading dock, and it looks like the crews are finishing up that one last section of underground pipe. Then this will be filled in, and then we can see the rebar and concrete completed. Then as we continue to fly to the south, the sun angle gives us a chance to look inside some of these doors, which is pretty cool, just to get a glimpse of what is going on inside. And this is now the stamping machine structure. You can see all of these dumpsters with these crates. This is a lot of the materials that continue to be brought in. They unpack them, they install them, and then the crates are put into these dumpsters and hauled away. And it's pretty cool to see just the progress that's going on. So now we're going to enter the south parking and transportation area, and a lot of activity here with multiple car carriers already present. And throughout my flight here, car carriers were just constantly streaming in and out of the site. And I got a chance to see one departing the factory on the north end as well when I was up flying at that end of the factory. But anyway, here you see some more of those cars on carriers. You see the look into that material yard on the south end. And this view here will give you a look at the cars ready for transportation, and two more transporters positioning themselves to pick up more cars. As I move the drone over to look at the stamping extension, I noticed this truck here, and I decided that since they were unloading some crates from the truck, I would show you a little bit of the action with the forklift. I was hoping they would pull out another crate, but it was taking a little bit long, so we'll fly away. But anyway, they're unloading several more crates that are being stockpiled momentarily by these doors and then moved inside. And you can also get a little bit of glimpse inside the doors today to see some of the activity. And again, it looks like there's some trenching and some other fill activities. We've seen large trucks bringing dirt into that area as well. This is interesting. There's a Model Y on a platform, and I don't know if this is either a test platform of some sort, or it actually looks like they're preparing to move the Model Y up to the second floor and load it in through that platform. Maybe this is related to the shareholder meeting that's coming up in August. But anyway, another interesting site. We also see a new tent erected here right by that light pole, and it looks like there's some sort of testing area there as well. This pullback gives you an idea of some more of the Model Ys that are being produced and moved to this section first, where I guess final checkouts are done, and then they move them over for the transport vehicles to pick them up. You can also see here the new 20 superchargers that have been installed. Not quite finished, but it looks like they're nearing finishing up. They'll probably do a little bit of paving and clean up that area right in front of them, and then next week hopefully we'll see them in operation. But I'm going to wrap around the building and head to the north, and we'll fly south to north along this side of the building. You can see activity where this steel ramp is continues. More trucks unloading equipment for the production lines that they're setting up. Again, this I believe is going to be General Assembly 2 and 3 lines. Probably at least one of them for Cybertruck is being set up, which is great to see. So let's fly south to north along the building, and I'll pick up the narration when we get to the northwest corner. We've now arrived at the northwest corner. We're right at the loading areas that are associated with the battery cell production area. And I'm wondering if these trucks that we see here may be bringing 2170s to Giga-Texas. And it would make sense because of the location. I can't say for sure, but I would say that the likelihood is pretty good that that's what we're seeing. As we know that they're producing a lot of 2170 variants of the Model Ys in addition to the 4680 battery variants as well. But here on the roof, I want to show you another expanding area of the solar panel. This time it's on the south side of the bottom of the T, and as you can see, it's another large section. I'll give a close-up view of the workers in action setting up the panels on the mounts, and it looks like they're doing all the wiring and connections as well. Maybe this is a sign that they're going to be working from this point towards the south now and fill out this portion of all the 5 letters that spell out Tesla. But we'll continue to monitor that and watch, and we'll see together what they end up doing. I'm going to pull back just so you can get a better idea of where this area is in relation to the other solar panels and the 5 letters of Tesla are on the roof right now. And as you can see, we're on the north end looking to the south across the Tesla T, the bottom part of that T, and we're approaching the area where the HVAC ducting work is being installed on top of the battery cell structure. Again, this is very reminiscent of what we see at Giga Berlin as well, with the types of ducting enclosures and the ducts that are being installed. You can see here another enclosure is about 1/3 of the way completed, and that should continue to be finished up later today or through the weekend. So this area is the north landscaping area, also where they've been installing a lot of the irrigation system, most of which is now functional on this side of the berm area. You can also see the crews are doing trenching around the concrete cyber burns on the north side, and they're installing quite a bit of piping for more of the irrigation system on this side of the berm and along the roadway. But I'm going to fly west to east along the berm just so you can get an idea of how this area and the trenching and the irrigation system installation is coming along. Also, another interesting thing that I noticed today as we pan to the left is that there's a new section having some trees and grass installed on this area of the landscaping. And also, as we pan a little bit more to the left, you'll see more of the irrigation system being installed along this cyber berm and around the parking lot as well. So a lot of progress with that irrigation system and a lot more of the landscaping work going on to finish out this particular area, which is really cool to see. So we're going to approach up to the casting machine structure. What I'm going to show you here is this truck is a recycling truck, and it picks up castings that are for whatever reason going to go to recycling. We'll watch a couple of them being loaded up into the truck. Now, I just saw a recent discussion over at Giga Berlin saying that they've had a lot of castings have to go to recycling because of some defects, but they've reduced it down to about 10%. But if Giga Berlin is seeing that, I would say Giga-Texas is probably seeing something similar, which explains why some of these are being put to recycling as they dial in the various cyber, the casting machines, the gigapresses to make all these parts. But as we move to the north here, looking at the paint shop area, I want to show you all of these cyber planters that have just shown up here with trees, and that is a new addition to this area. And also just some more of the activity on these particular platforms next to the battery cell production facility as well. So now that we've finished up looking at the main building, let's go ahead and pull back and take a look at the new permanent electrical substation and megapack area to see what progress, if any, has been done in the last 48 hours. So many of you have been watching my videos and other drone videos know not a lot of change at this particular area. The reason is that the Lower Colorado River Authority, LCRA, and the subcontractors to put in the electrical substation are still waiting for the final permits to be able to work on this particular area for the construction to begin, also for the stormwater pipe to be installed as well. So right now they're kind of in a holding pattern until they get those final permits. Hopefully we'll see that maybe next week or so. We can see there's more of the Sabre trailers showing up, and the components are still waiting for the installation. So perhaps that will begin. I'm flying up to here to show you the installation of more conduit and the manhole access boxes, and I'll zoom in so you can get a better idea of how this looks. I believe that this is the conduit that will take power from and to the megapacks from the solar panels on the roof and also to the factory. These conduits extend under the road and to the northeast corner of the casting machine structure, so this would be a very logical location for that those connections to be made. So let's fly over to the far northeast and take a look at how the battery cathode plant is progressing today. So as you can see, the battery cathode main structure is pretty much fixed now with the steel. However, the crews are still installing a lot of the necessary hardware and joiner plates that are needed to finish out the actual steel structure now that it's pretty much complete. And you can see that with all of the man lifts along both sides of the structure. But as we continue to fly to the south on this west side, a couple of things I want to show you is one, the continuing installation of the electrical conduit in the trenches here and in and around where they have the tall pipes for the plumbing system, probably for a tank farm. Here you see more of the crews working on the steel structure and also on some of the floor decking on the second and third floors. And we see this H pattern trench that has just emerged, and more of the electrical conduit is being installed. And you can see inside the building on the ground floor more trenching as well. So this will most likely be how they connect plumbing and electrical systems to the main building. This is also most likely where the power is going to enter the building from the grid that serves Giga-Texas. So I'll be watching to see where the trenching is for that to connect this building to the main system. But as we fly around this south end, you can see the yellow forms for the perimeter grade beam. Again, this will form the base of the walls. Also, the concrete that you see poured on the second floor here. On my previous video, I said that it looks like there were 12 areas for possibly smaller columns, but a viewer has suggested that those actually may be mounting points for equipment, and that actually makes a lot more sense. So I'll continue to monitor that and see if more developments emerge. You can see here the floor decking is being prepared for the rebar mesh ahead of pouring the concrete on the second and third floors, and I would expect that to happen next week. We can also see more of the work on the ground floor and some of the area to prepare for more trenching. And again, as I mentioned, the man lifts with the crews installing the last bits of hardware and joiner plates for the steel structure to make sure it is completed. The Liebherr large yellow crane still is in a position on the ground for disassembly. It has not happened yet, but unless they plan on using that crane again, maybe to lift up floor and roof decking, I suspect its work may be completed, but we'll see how that progresses over the next week or two. I'm going to fly over the building so you can see the roof, and I want to also head over to the yard area. In my previous video, I promised that I would show where some of the steel scraps or metal scraps from the stamping machine are temporarily held. I don't see them here today in the trucks, but these black trucks that you see here, this is where they collect those steel and metal scraps. They put them here, and then when these are loaded up, they take them off for further recycling. So I wanted to at least follow up with what I said in my previous video. Also, you can see many more deliveries lined up to go through the security checkpoint for their deliveries to occur. So anyway, this is a quick look at Giga-Texas on the 29th of July. Happy Friday. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you again for watching.